Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So I just want to talk about some of the discourse going on with Captain America Brave New World because I seen the film. If you guys seen my review, I really enjoyed the film. The thing is this movie perfect? Absolutely not. Is it like an excellent all-time best MCU movie? No, it's not. But is it solid? Yes, it is. So I just kind of want to talk about some of the discourse because I don't really get why it's getting so much hate, right? When Thor Love and Thunder came out, I can understand why that movie got so much hate. When Ant-Man Quantumania came out, I can understand why that movie got so much hate. Falcon Winners or I keep wanting to say Falcon. God, I keep wanting to, Sam is not Falcon no more, Rob. He's Captain America. Move on. America already has. But jokes aside, I really did enjoy this movie, and I just don't understand why it's getting as much hate as it is. And maybe I'm just in a bubble. I'm just like in this perfect bubble to where I think it's getting a lot of hate because I'm on social media, the cesspool that is Twitter and Facebook, and I'm also on YouTube, so I hear it a lot more. Because if you actually go over to Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at an 80% audience score. So really, is this movie getting that much hate? Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just because I'm in this little movie bubble and all my friends and people that I follow are all moviegoers. So everybody, I'm just hearing it louder than it actually is, because when you look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, an 80% audience score, what that initially means is that 8 out of 10 people that came out of the theater liked the movie. So out of every 10 people that come out, 8 of those people they liked the movie. And I think that's a pretty good number. Now, when it came to the critics, a lot of people want to say, oh, 49%, that's awful. Yeah, it's not great. But at the same time, this movie didn't do anything to really kind of push it beyond the bounds of stuff we haven't already seen. So, I mean, if I was a critic, I could see where other critics would look at this and go, hey, this is pretty much just a cookie cutter. It didn't really do anything to like push the narrative or anything like that. Not the narrative, because it did push the narrative. That's the wrong word. The push the boundary is maybe the word I'm looking for. I can see where critics will look at it and go, oh, this is just another superhero film, and I understand that. Now, when it comes to Captain America Brave New World, like I said, I thought it was a pretty solid film. I gave it like a 7.5 out of 8. I would watch this film many, many more times. In fact, I plan on going to see this thing next week. Once the crowd starts to dying off in the middle of the week, I'm going to go catch a matinee of it. And I'm looking forward to going to see this film again. I really, really did enjoy this film. It didn't blow me out of the water, but I had a fun time watching the film. And I noticed that a lot of people are hating on it. And I just kind of want to talk about that aspect of it, because I see the word racism going around a lot. Like, well, you know why they didn't like it. You know why. I do. I'm not going to dismiss that. I do think that there is a percentage of racism that might have something to do with the negativity, but I don't think that's the overarching like senses from the people, right? Like I don't think like the majority of the people that did not like this movie did not like it because they were racist or whatever. I don't think that. Of course, when we're talking about that, we know that there is going to be a percentage of people that feel that way. But I have friends that I debated on my podcast that did not like the movie, and although I don't agree with his opinions at all, he's entitled to have his opinions, right? He's entitled to get. Movies are art, and I think people forget that, right? Movies are art. Everybody can look at a painting or look at a piece of art, and a lot of people will get different things from them. And that's the way it is. So if a friend of mine sees it and he doesn't like it, and I mean, it is what it is. It's his opinion. He has the right to his opinion. People have the right to dislike the movie. I like the movie. I can think he's crazy for not liking the movie, but then again, he can think I'm crazy for not liking a movie that he likes. I mean, Danny, for Christ's sake, likes Craven. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Craven is one of the worst movies I ever seen, but you know what? He's entitled to his opinion. Every movie my wife watches sucks donkey nuts. But I guess she's entitled to her opinion. Oh my God, I can't. God, her taste in movies suck. But getting back to Captain America, yeah, I personally like the movie. Is the movie flawed? Absolutely. I can point out dozens of stuff in this movie that either didn't make sense, didn't look good, or it just didn't work for the film. But overall, I had a fun time with the movie. There are some things that there are some complaints people out there are making that I don't agree with, like for example, well, we already saw Sam go through the story arc in Falcon Winter Soldier. Why are they redoing it again in this movie? And I said, well, to that example, that the majority of the people that go see the movie did not see Falcon Winter Soldier. So maybe the real argument is, why rehash it twice for an audience that's probably not going to go see the Disney Plus series? That's a better complaint, I think. Why are we doing this thing twice? But you can also look at it as a story beat, to where Sam is always going to question himself. And someone brought this up, and I don't remember who brought this up, but I don't want to take credit for this, but Steve Rogers always questioned things too. He questioned himself on what he should believe in, what he should stand for. We see a lot of this when it came to the Winter Soldier film and the Civil War film, where Steve Rogers battled with what was right. Like, what S.H.I.E.L.D. was doing. Was it ethical? Was it the right thing to do? Like, is S.H.I.E.L.D. right for this? Is S.H.I.E.L.D. wrong for this? And a lot of that, it kind of got like swept underneath the rug because, you had like the Winter Soldier thing and all that stuff. But Steve constantly battled with what was right, what was wrong, and what was the right thing to do for the people. And we see that again in Civil War, where yes, he wants to stand on the side of the government and do what's right within the government, but at the same time, he owes the people the right, and he battled with Tony Stark on the Sokovia Accords. Like, what if we know what's right, we have to do it, but yet the government won't allow us to do it? Steve Rogers has always battled internally with decisions. It wasn't like Steve Rogers always knew what to do, what was right. Steve Rogers constantly questioned things, and it would make sense that Sam Wilson would also question a lot of things too. Like, am I good enough to hold this shield? Should I take the super serum? Like, there's so many different things that Sam is going to battle with, and even when you think you conquered those demons, you're still going to have those doubts in your head. I don't know how that makes him human. That makes him human. Every human character that you can relate to questions and doubts certain decisions that they make in their life. So it doesn't matter if they captured that story in the Falcon Winter Soldier series. This is something that Sam is going to battle with for the rest of his life. And that's just something that's part of the character. How many times has Spider-Man wanted to just give up? I mean, issue 50 of Amazing Spider-Man, he throws the costume into the trash can. The Spider-Man No More story that we see like redone in the movies and whatnot. Spider-Man was constantly wanting to give up. He's like, I can't do this anymore. But it was his responsibility, is what Uncle Ben told him. With great power comes great responsibility. So even Spider-Man questions, like, I don't want to do this. I want a normal life. We even seen the same thing with Superman in Superman 2, where Superman he wanted a normal life. He wanted to give up his powers. He questioned that to be with Lois, and then he had to prevail and become Superman to do something. So to me, that's one of the most fascinating things about this movie, was the fact that Sam does question things. He does question himself, and every great hero has that dynamic on, am I doing what's right? Is it right? Am I the right person for this job? That makes him human. That makes him relatable. And I don't think that was a problem at all within the context of the movie. In fact, I think that layered the movie even more. So just some of the complaints I've seen out there, to me, doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, yes, they did in Falcon Winter Soldier, but for all the reasons that I just explained, this is going to be something that Sam is going to have to deal with as long as he's holding that shield. And to me, that makes him human. But that's just my thoughts on it, guys. I want to know what you guys think, though. Please do me a favor. Smash that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed. And until next time, as always, I am Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.